Hey guys, we got Golden back here again to talk about Dragon Ball Super. What's up, Golden?
Not too much. How's it going? One Punch Sloth and everyone. Hope you guys like rants because we're going to be tearing this show apart.
It's going pretty swell. Now, before I get started, Golden, there's a new thing I'm going to do on my collabs. How would you hide 1,000 Chaozus from the government?
Have them all suicide against Nappa.
Okay, then. Good enough answer, isn't it? To start off. So, you want to start off, or how about let's go right into it?
Yeah, let's just go right into it. So, last time, guys, if you're just coming off from the last video, we just got done with the Megazord fight. And we're just about to talk about the Anilaza fight, the big kaiju guy. A lot of people thought it was kind of stupid, but honestly, because I like kaiju fights, I kind of have a guilty pleasure liking for that episode. I mean, I know it's dumb. I mean, Hail Zeon and Agro went on a pretty good explanation to why the kaiju thing was bad, but I honestly do have a guilty pleasure towards it. And I mean, that's basically my thoughts before we start talking about the big thing, the meat and potatoes of this video, the finale of the Tournament of Power. What did you think about Anilaza?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I like the kaiju stuff too, and I like how they use 17 in it. I like to see them. I like seeing them all work together. So a good thing we didn't really see that until really the last episode of people working together. Besides Vegeta and Goku, which was be expected, but you know we got to see 17 shine before he really shined. So hey.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like the Anilaza episode because they found it to be just kind of stupid based on like the whole thing of like, oh, he can hit 5 people at once and stuff like that, and the whole thing of like him using a obvious kill move on everyone. Like Anilaza tried to kill people. Like he tried to eat 18. I mean, I know the whole thing was like, oh, like he's gonna just keep 18 in his belly, and then eventually whenever he drops off the stage or whatever, 18 will go with him. But yeah, I have a guilty pleasure for that episode. But without further ado, I think we should move on to what people really came here for. And that is the fight between Universe 7 and Universe 11. So whenever it first started out, I was like, wow, they're actually starting this finale pretty strong. And I thought it was just going to ramp up from there, but nope. It really, really just kept tumbling down until probably the last 2 episodes. But we'll get to that whenever we get to that. So, like what I said about how it started off strong, I thought like the way that the fights went, it showed us that Universe 11 and the Pride Troopers aren't going to be so easily defeated. And secondly, I mean, Vegeta is at his absolute best in that episode. I just loved how they actually got him away from being under the shadow of Goku / Kakarot. And he said something like, let Kakarot have Ultra Instinct. I'll do things my own way. I mean, I just like it whenever he's not trying to be under the shadow of Goku. I like it whenever he's just trying to test his limits and being the best fighter he can possibly be. Because I have never really been a fan of him trying to reawaken that whole rivalry between him and Goku again. Like how Super started off with him saying like, forget what I said in the Buu arc, I'm going to catch up to you one day. And I don't know, I thought that the fight in this episode was so great, really well choreographed, and just the fight between 17 and Gohan and Topo had a lot of tension. And then the same thing with Frieza versus Dispo. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Frieza get wrecked quite like he did whenever he just like got his face like pummeled through rocks by Dispo. Like I left that episode thinking, why can't the whole tournament be structured like this? Like we got to see 3 fights in one episode, whereas typically throughout the tournament, we usually get 1 fight per episode. So, I mean, that's what my opinion is. Like, how did you think it started out? Did you think it started out strong or weak or whatever?
Well, I think there have been a lot of callbacks, a lot of chance to make callbacks to Birder. I mean, I liked it. It's not the best episode. It's not particularly memorable, but we did get to see Frieza wrecked, as you said. I mean, we also saw him get wrecked when Future Trunks came back in the beginning of Z, but hey, I liked it. It's not the greatest fight, and I think it was well, you know, executed for what it was. I think it could have really been bad. It could have just been Frieza just knocks him off really easily, but I'm glad they had him challenged and everything. So I don't know. I think Topo and Jiren are the next ones we should cover because they're the more interesting fights overall, more interesting characters in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, because yeah, I would say after 122 is just whenever things started just really tumbling down for me. Because I remember the episode after that, it felt like filler, and it really did feel like a waste of time. Like the whole like Kienzon chopping up and all that kind of stuff, like chopping up the stadium was cool. But Jiren jumping from the rocks was just ridiculously stupid. And remember how I said just a few seconds ago how Dispo was looking pretty damn awesome whenever he was attacking Frieza and kind of humiliating him in a way? Well, that pretty much goes out the window after this episode because Frieza just dusts himself off like nothing happened, and you sit there wondering, like, how is Dispo going to fight Frieza whenever he eventually turns golden if he's not standing a chance against him right now? And then I would say that the next thing I really want to address is Super Saiyan Evolution. Just the name alone is cringy. That's like calling Super Saiyan 2 Super Saiyan Evolution. So, I mean...
Yeah, we don't need reminders.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the whole sparkly, glittery gel pen thing transformation.
Super Saiyan Sailor Moon.
It looks ugly, and Sailor Moon is actually good. That's the difference.
It looks like some girls anime. No.
Yeah.
Kind of sexist, but whatever. You get what I mean.
Yeah, you're not a fan of the magical girl anime, but
No.
but I mean, yeah, I mean what you're saying about let's talk about Jiren and Topo. I mean, the whole fight with Jiren didn't really result in anything until Topo's elimination. And then so we have this whole thing of just like of 17 struggling against base Topo, but yet later on he's able to fight blow to blow with Jiren somewhat. Like he does better against Jiren than Kaioken times 20 Goku did in 109. That's pretty unbelievable.
To defend Jiren a little bit, Jiren was really beaten up after that. So
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about before 17 like did his fake suicide. Ugh, we'll get to that eventually. But I mean, let's just talk about the first major eliminations. Gohan and Dispo. That is the most lazy and terribly executed elimination I've ever seen in my life. In this tournament, anyway. Like, the thing is, Frieza could have impaled one of Dispo's legs, and then Gohan could have just thrown him out. And then we could have had Gohan versus Topo, like what a lot of people really wanted to see. Like, we could have had this thing where Topo turned God of Destruction, and Gohan is just like, remember who you are, Topo. And he just like starts posing like justice poses and stuff like that. And then Topo's just like, I gave up justice a long time ago. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to see them have a pose off, but I think I think it would have had some comedic moments. It's just do it.
it wouldn't have worked in the series that we got up to that point. Because all action, it was just all action from that point. For the last 10 but it was just all action. Then we're just gonna see the Great Saiyaman pose. Nah.
I mean, I think that they could do it without breaking the tension. I mean, especially if it was executed right. But I'm just saying that if they were to do it like in a silly way to where it's just like, hey, let's break up this tension with some really silly jokes or something like that. Like, yeah, I agree. But I think that scene could have worked. And even more than Vegeta eliminating Topo, speaking of Topo, I think that it would have been better if Gohan was the one who got the rage boost or just the emotional power up, because he is the emotional power up guy. So to me, Vegeta getting that is pretty insulting to me.
Vegeta got a big power up when Beerus slapped Bulma, so.
Yeah, and that is stupid.
No, that is the best scene in Dragon. That's the best scene in Battle of Gods.
I think it's retarded because Vegeta's never established to get a rage boost. Because if he would have gotten a rage boost,
he did.
then
He did against when Future Trunks died.
no, he did not.
He got pissed.
He got mad, but he didn't power up.
Hey, Saiyan's getting mad as this powering up. That's all they do. They just yell and power up. Just saying.
Well, I mean, he didn't get a rage boost. There was no mention of anyone saying like, "Whoa, Vegeta's ki is increased during Cell." So, to me, it just doesn't make sense for Vegeta getting an emotional power up against Beerus or Topo. That's just me. I mean, let's kind of rewind back over to the Dispo and Gohan and Frieza thing. Dispo took a gut punch from Golden Frieza, and he didn't get knocked out. So by that logic, Golden Frieza is obviously a 1.2 times multiplier. And watch some idiot think I'm serious and sends this video to Seth the programmer or something like that to debunk it. But
I was gonna say, let's not get into that just for that reason.
now, of course, it's a joke. But
yeah, I know, but comments don't know that. Even when you say it's a joke, they don't know that.
Yep. And another thing, I heard a lot of people say that the cage thing was really cool. And I just thought it was dumb. Because, I mean, I don't know if the writers of this show watched the same Frieza saga I did, but every single time a ki blast has been shot at people, it's always kind of either vaporized them, damaged them heavily, but never electrocution. So to me, that just comes off as censorship at its finest, because if this was a non-censored show and killing was allowed, Dispo would have probably gotten cut to pieces the moment he touched the death beams.
Yeah, been something out of Resident Evil. Zoop.
Exactly. But yeah, and then 124 had so much reused animation. Like, I just really thought that episode was terrible. Like, I honestly think that it is the worst episode of the entire tournament.
I didn't really notice the reused animation. I knew it after Twitter pointed it out. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I constantly saw it throughout the episode, but everyone has their worst episode of the Tournament of Power. Most people, it's like the Ten Shinhan episode or something like that, or the Bug episode. But I think we've covered that first portion of the finale, so let's just move on to the last part where it's Topo, Jiren versus Goku, Vegeta, 17, and Frieza. So I actually really liked Topo at the start, whenever like he was fighting 17, like whenever Gohan kind of went to go help Frieza. And Topo just had really good character moments, honestly. Like, Frieza was just like hitting, like death beaming him in the back over and over, and like, I don't know, I felt sorry for him at that point. And then whenever he turns God of Destruction, oh my god, he's such a badass, and I'm on board with a lot of people who think that thinks that Topo should have been the main villain, not the main villain, but Topo should have been the main guy to take down instead of Jiren. So, I mean, what do you think?
I think the whole appeal to Jiren is in the beginning we didn't really know. He was really mysterious and everything, and Topo really wasn't that. We saw the little seeds of Topo and his universe, everything, but I don't know. It's a more interesting character design, that's for sure. And I think one of the appeals to Dragon Ball is the character design. So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, the show is made to sell stuff, so probably easier to make a Jiren figure than to make and to
build excitement.
Yeah, it's probably easier to make a Jiren figure than make a Topo figure. So that might have contributed to the reason why they didn't show Topo. Just being logical.
Yeah, but I mean, they still could make Topo figures. They probably still will. They'll probably still make Dispo figures too. Dispo looks like Beerus. Like, everyone knows that, and I'm pretty sure that's like why he's marketable too.
Yeah, probably the same mold they're probably gonna use. Bandaver makes the figures. They're probably gonna use the same mold. Just flip the ears.
Yeah, I really wanted to see more from Dispo. Like, I know that like fast characters are kind of limited in shows, but I don't know. I wasn't really too impressed with him. Just the way he was handled in this arc. Just because, I mean, sure, he had those admirable moments where it's just like Dispo is obviously the weakest one of the Pride Troopers, of the 3 anyway, remaining. But he still has a lot of spunk and is willing to go for it. It's just, I wish he was handled a little bit better.
Do you think he actually is the weakest of the Pride Troopers?
Just of the 3.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say that little dude, he didn't seem like he was doing much, so forget his name.
Yeah. And gosh.
Little blue guy.
Yeah, and while Frieza in his base form seems to be stronger than Dispo, Frieza constantly went up and challenged Topo and Jiren in his base and just kept getting his ass handed to him.
I mean, he's like Vegeta's, he's very stubborn.
I would say he was even more prideful.
Yeah. He wants to prove himself. He wants to get that wish. He wants to get resurrected, which we'll talk about that soon, because that's no nicey.
Yeah, because
Nice.
maybe that's what humbled him. Maybe Topo and Jiren beating him up is what humbled him to eventually team up with Goku.
Well, I just don't want to die.
Yeah, that too. But, I mean...
He wanted his floaty chair back.
Yes, he does. And seeing him in his floaty chair in his final form is just like, huh, I never thought I'd see that.
And his tail was way too thick. Let me put that out.
Yeah,
Get the
and,
thick tail.
And Jiren, like, ripped it off or something.
We didn't see it. We didn't see it. He goes from having a tail to not having a tail. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but yeah, let's talk about God of Destruction Topo. I'm pretty disappointed that he didn't accomplish anything at the end of the day. I mean, he was just there to be fed to Vegeta, so that way Vegeta fans could be pleased. But I don't know.
I was pleased.
Yeah, I am on some level, but on the next level, it's just like he just like decided to do that quote unquote suicide move, which apparently isn't a suicide move, whenever he was already winning. So I was just like, why would you do that? Like, Vegeta was beating Topo already, and then he was just like, I'm gonna suicide.
And I like the whole Jiren God of Destruction transformation. His thick boy got some swollenness to him, and appreciate that. I liked the design for it. I liked the design, and they put the little markings on him and made it glow and everything. I think the fights with him...
It was pretty fanficky.
It was very fanficky, but at the end of the day, most of Super is, evil Goku. People can bring that up for a long time, but that's fanficky. You can't... Even the Tournament Power was, fanficky.
Oh yeah. It's all... That's what... I mean, we have female Broly.
Yeah. Broly Kakarot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like Topo better whenever he was, like, having that whole cat and mouse thing with 17, rather than the fight with him and Vegeta. I just thought it was a big disappointment, and just the whole fight between Vegeta and Topo just wasn't memorable at all. So, and it was just basically a Vegeta wank fest to me. That's what it really was, honestly, to me.
Hey, I'll take a Vegeta wank fest any day.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Vegeta, but I'm just like, it's just so stupid. Just because the whole thing with, like, the final explosion is the fact, like, he said that he was able to survive it because he's stronger, but he was using a stronger version of that attack, so yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense to me.
Yeah, I feel you. I think there's better ways that I could have executed it, but I think it was okay. I didn't really, quote-unquote, get hyped about it, but I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, like, there was not really any dynamic fight scenes at all, just between Vegeta and Topo. It was just really simple stuff. Like, there wasn't any, like, impressive choreography or anything like that.
It should have been, like, a really good flavored drink, but instead, it just felt like we were drinking the water, and the flavored drink was the packet of flavor just on the side, and they're just staring at us.
Good analogy. But I suppose we should move on to the final spectacle, Jiren versus everyone. So, at this point, Jiren, his character becomes really inconsistent. I mean, that's what I think.
Well, glad you brought that up. Yeah, it does, because he goes, I don't care about justice, I don't care about it. And then, what episode? A couple episodes later, he's bringing up justice again, but yeah, he left that behind.
Yep, and also that he was first seeking something beyond strength, and then now he's just like, strength is all I need, strength is everything, strength is justice. So I don't know. I mean, I'll get on to something positive later about Jiren because I do think that he was redeemed for me, but we'll get on to that later.
Something positive from Kevin? What?
Yeah, but I think the main spectacle of 127 was just 17 suicide. And yeah, I was just like, I don't know, just if you're suiciding yourself, why not just take Jiren's blast so that way 17 becomes disqualified? I mean, the crazy part of this whole tournament is there was that rule this entire time that you couldn't kill or you'd be disqualified. Nobody in this tournament was killed.
I want to bring that because in the beginning of the tournament, there is one scene which looks like Frieza killed someone. He's like right up to their head and he's doing the death beam. But who knows? Maybe he just knocked him out, but he was already knocked out. I don't know. Just want to bring that up.
I think that was the Yarge Rat.
Maybe. I'm not positive, but I remember that scene because it made me like confused.
No, they said like oh, they killed him, and then Frieza was just like, I made sure to miss his vitals, and I'm just like, how? You shot him point blank.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember now.
Yeah, but I mean that's kind of in the past, but we're talking about the finale. So I mean obviously 17 suicide didn't matter because he just came back later, but again, that just makes me wonder.
It mattered when it happened.
It just makes me wonder, why didn't he just take Jiren's blast and have himself be vaporized by it? Or would it be something like, oh, like you can't intentionally suicide yourself, and then the Grand Priest is just like, no penalty, like how he always is.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made up new rules like that. And, yeah. It did matter at the time, though. People were really like, oh man, 17. I wasn't even like, oh man, 17. Which people didn't really care about him in Z because he didn't really see much of him. Then he saw some of him and he was all cool and he had a family, about everything. And he just dies, like, oh no. And then he brought back, it's like, okay.
I don't think so. Just because he would have been brought back several episodes anyway. I mean, Whis could have just gone to the afterlife and just revived him, as we saw.
Which has a time on the shoulder. He doesn't have to go anywhere. Just boop.
Yep, exactly. But, I mean, just moving on past that, the whole Vegeta versus Jiren thing, oh my god, it's just, like, Jiren is just beating the crap out of Vegeta and, like, not knocking him out. And I'm just sitting here, the whole time, like, why are you just torturing him and not knocking him out? I mean, that's pretty much my thought since 127. It's just like, Jiren has enough power to knock everyone out without much effort, so why doesn't he just do it? Like, it's not like he has the same excuse as Cell or Toguro, where he's just like, oh, I want to make my opponent stronger so I get this great challenge or anything like that. Because whenever Goku is about to get... Because, yeah, Jiren was about to knock out Goku, and then it just happened that Goku just turned Ultra Instinct there. Like, it's not like Jiren is just like, where is this Ultra Instinct of yours? I want to unlock it. So that's another reason like why Jiren's character is very inconsistent to me.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up the thing about, he could just knock him off easily, which that's kind of a theme in Super, like, oh, these characters could just wiped out the whole playing field if they went blue. Man, I understand why they didn't. They have to keep the show, a certain pace, and they can't just have one thing go for one episode and then just continue on, but I don't know. I like the fight. I'm not a Vegeta fanboy to say, but I liked Vegeta in this, which is weird because I don't really like him that much.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that one reason why I actually respected 128 on some level is that they kept his character consistent with the end of Z. Because if he had like this epic moment, like where he does this awesome attack against Jiren that like matches him before he gets knocked out, he would probably still like have that goal of trying to be stronger than Kakarot or anything like that. Because I mean, I know he said that he ditched it and all that, but it seems like that in the last episode, in the last scene, Vegeta still wants to catch up to Kakarot.
It's just an inconsistency. What can you say? It's Super for you.
Yep, the show of inconsistencies. But yeah, Vegeta being in his base form, I think that's like the only time that low stamina ever meant anything. Because yeah, We saw Goku in his base form fight against the magical boys of Universe 2. But the thing is that Goku is still fighting at that classic Dragon Ball pace where it's just like ra-da-da-da-da-da-da type fighting where like they're moving at a super fast pace. But Vegeta, it looked like every single move that he was doing was straining him. Like he looked genuinely strained in this episode. Like he couldn't even turn Super Saiyan.
Yeah. Especially like beginning of GT. Hate that analogy, but still. You can't go Super Saiyan with that kind of power. You're so beaten down. I like seeing beaten down characters. I don't know why. Maybe that's a little messed up of me. I don't know, maybe it's a kink. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, I mean, that's what makes the end of the Saiyan arc so interesting is because everyone is so beat up fighting against Vegeta and there's this sense of struggle. That's what it really is, too. At least to me.
I see someone beating off in a corner. Go, oh yeah, I love when Piccolo throws Gohan in the mountain. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. But just the last thing I want to address before we actually get to the final fight. Ultra Instinct being activated by Goku thinking really hard. I really, really don't understand how people defend the trigger of Ultra Instinct, because the first time he got it by absorbing the Spirit Bomb, the second time being kicked in the head, and then the third time thinking of his friends. So to me, it's just very inconsistent to how Ultra Instinct is triggered. And then Mastered Ultra Instinct running off the power of friendship. The strongest transformation in the entire show runs off of friendship.
Strongest transformation now. Until they want to sell more toys, and then they're gonna up it again. Where it's style, but it's the same theme, but it's just a Super Saiyan style with the hair.
Yeah, they're
even grayer.
They're gonna do just Mastered Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan or something like that.
Master Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 3 Super Saiyan God.
No, I'm done.
I can see that being real too.
No.
SSUI.
Or Super Saiyan Green. I'm just waiting for that too.
Super Saiyan 5 Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 3.
No, we're going down the rabbit hole. Let's just move on.
And the super question mark?
Oh my gosh. So 129, that was the episode where nothing happens and it's boring and there's reused animation and there's so much talking. I mean, why'd
you just tell us all what Super is as a whole? Reused animation, boring, nothing happens?
Oh my god. Exactly. You could skip this whole series and go to the end of Z and nothing would be changed.
Just watch the 2-hour movies and you'll have a better time.
I agree, because somehow they make the arcs worse than the movies. I mean, it just kind of...
It's a different video.
Yeah, but... Okay, so I don't have much to say about 129. It was just so boring and awful.
It's just there. It's there.
It's there as a precursor to 130. That's it.
I think those are the two meat and bones of
this
video is 130 and 131. Where it gets real.
Yeah, this is where it really gets real. But 130, good fight. Pretty good fight. But the thing is that this is the episode where I was just like, how is Jiren not a villain? Like, he just tried to attempt to murder Goku's friends. And even his own comrades. And even got his destruction and all that good stuff. So, I don't know. I don't understand how anyone at that point didn't think Jiren was a villain. Because to me, that, attempted murder is a villainous act.
Yeah. I mean, he just... I don't know how that's not a disqualification, by the way. Like, he literally tried to kill everyone. Even Topo was like, whoa. Whoa.
And yeah, I mean, it was a good fight and all, but I just don't think it had the proper build-up. Because the thing about Jiren is that we didn't know anything about him at all prior to these final episodes. And it just comes off to me like the writers didn't know what to do with him until later on. That he was a stoic character, and the writers were just like, well, we're just going to keep doing things until we figure out what to do with Jiren, and then they finally figure out something to do with Jiren. But they make his character very inconsistent.
And I just want to point out, I think the series would have had a better ending the Blast just went and killed Krillin, and then he got disqualified, and then the tournament ends. Just have Krillin get one last death, and just to make it so.
They'll be glad that they didn't invite Yamcha, or Yamcha will be glad that he didn't come. And by the way, was he even in the montage? Like, did they just like forget to put him in there?
Yeah, he was with Bulma. He was with Bulma, I think.
Okay, because yeah, I want to rewatch it, and I'm just like, did they forget?
That's what Bulma was doing when they were during the tournament. She was with Yamcha. Oh, winky face. That's not Vegeta's daughter. Ha ha ha.
Because she's just like, I might only have 48 hours or 48 minutes left of existence. I might as well get my rocks off.
Might as well. Give me your baseballer.
Oh my god, a fast pitch.
Let me show you. Why did they call you a Cyberman? Because I explode.
No. Let's move on from that, please. Okay, so I honestly enjoyed the fight as a whole more than 130. Like, I enjoyed the fight between all three of the Universe 7 members more than Goku versus Jiren. And I don't know why. I just think it had more tension to it because Goku versus Jiren felt like that whole, like, here's your payoff fight. And then 131 is where it actually was just like, okay, this is where it really matters now. And everyone had better team up and give their best effort. And I thought that it was really well choreographed and all that good jazz. And
it was the best they could have done for what they had.
Yeah, I agree.
So, because I think they were halfway through, or they knew ahead, but they didn't know where to end it. So they just had, let's just end the fight right here. Let's not do anything with it. Just a good montage of fighting and character working for two characters we're not going to see together, or people won't assume to see together. Even though everyone wanted them to fight together, so everyone already thought they were going to fight together, or at least thought in their mind. We're going to be unhappy if they didn't fight together. Let's give them what they want. Let's not hear them cry to us on Twitter. And boom, we got Frieza and Goku fighting, which, man, this episode is what I like to call a screenshot and make your wallpaper episode, because there's a lot of just pretty scenes, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty mediocre. Like, honestly, I gave the first episode of Super a 2.5 out of 5, and I'm going to be giving 131 a 2.5 out of 5, but the ending a 1 out of 5. But I'll get to that in a second. So, what you're saying about Goku and Frieza teaming up, I'm pretty mixed about it. On one hand, it's pretty cool because it's just, wow, we never expected to see this happen. But on the other hand, it's just like, I never wanted Frieza to be a good guy or try to be buddies with Goku. Like, I get that they have this whole, like, unlikely alliance and that they are forced to fight side by side, but they got really chummy in this episode, and I wasn't too much of a fan of that, but I mean, on the elimination of Jiren and it being like a triple elimination, I could live with it. But, because just to me, like, you and everyone else, I'm pretty sure we were just like, holy crap, 17-1, dude.
I'm glad Big Boy Goku didn't win. I would have been fine with Frieza or him winning.
I would have actually been better if it was a tie, just because, or just limit the dragon's powers to where they can only bring back one universe at a time. Like, that to me would have at least made the tournament seem like that to me would at least make it seem like the tournament wasn't completely pointless and a waste of time. We had this tournament go all the way down to like the last 30 seconds or something like that, and we didn't even get to see this thing time out for all the time we've spent going towards the end. So here is how I would have done it, honestly, because I think that it should have resulted in a tie. So I would have done it to where Goku and Frieza try and drag down Jiren, and Goku and Frieza reach the boundary line at the split second right when the tournament ends. And those two are eliminated, but Jiren is still in the thing, along with 17. So it does result in a tie. Because I think that would have been a good payoff for us waiting. Like, seriously. Like, this tournament, like, we got down to, like, the last, 30 seconds of this thing, and it ended before the thing timed out. So, to me, it's just, why make the tournament go all the way down to that point if it's not going to time out?
Yeah, why have the timer when the time didn't really make sense anyways? Because it didn't really follow itself. The whole, the amount of time that fights happened weren't correct when you add them all together and everything. So that also makes no sense. But I mean, I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. And the whole fight is serious, but
We're just glad it's over.
I mean, I liked that it wasn't all the fight. That the episode wasn't just the fight. I'm glad that they said that. Oh yeah. By the way, if this happened to be a selfish wish, yeah, everyone's dead. No biggie. Everyone's dead though.
See, that's what gets me though. Is like really Zeno, the person who erases universes, if someone annoys him, is going to do something about moral testing. Give me a break, Super. Oh my god.
I mean, I like you can't handle little guys.
Well, I'm just saying it's hypocritical for somebody to literally wipes people out of existence, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna morally test these mortals and see if they make a selfish wish." Even though, like, ending people's lives and existence over someone annoying me is quite possibly one of the most selfish and evil things ever.
I mean, I think he's a kid. I think he is still. I'm not sure. But, I mean, it's a really kiddie type thing. I'm not sure. I do want to add, because I have something after this, so what were you going to say?
I mean, I didn't really have anything to say. You can just continue.
I like how we didn't get only the fight. I like how we got a little bit of character moment. 17, 18 run up to 17. Perfect. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know why.
Except for the line was stupid because he's just like,
yeah.
She's just like, oh, you want to bring back all these universes instead of wishing for a cruiser? And I'm just like, oh my god. People wrote that line, and the voice actress said that line, and assuming that she didn't protest anything about it, like, hey, guys, this line seems a little bit stupid. You should probably change it.
Especially coming from 18.
Yes.
Like, it sounds like something Hercule would say.
Or just someone dumb.
You wanna waste up back all the universe instead of bring back get me in a zinny. It just sounds like really selfish, which 18 never really came off as selfish to me. But hey, the whole show is Dragon Ball Super inconsistencies, so it fits. At least it's consistent with not being consistent.
Yeah, I mean the ending is. The ending is very Dragon Ball-ish. Everyone getting wished back to life, but are they kidding me? It's just like them not Universe 7 winning and maybe Universe 6 being brought back. That's not a happy enough ending for them. If they have to bring back every single universe and make this like a Disney Barney type ending, that to me just ruined. I don't know. That to me ruined the whole Tournament of Power for me because it's just like, what was the whole point of the tournament if everyone is just going to be brought back at the very last episode? Like, at least make there be some kind of a struggle to get them back. Like, say, like they have to compete in another Tournament of Power to make another wish to revive the mortals. Like, they could, like, even Zeno could have said, like, at the end of, like, oh, hey, since you made a non-selfish wish, like, we're going to hold another Tournament of Power, and this time, no universes are going to be erased. Just the Super Dragon Balls at the end. And then just everyone conspires to where it's just like, we're all going to fight our best, but at the end of the day, we're still going to wish back the universes one by one. So at least there would have been, like, I don't know, just some consequences to this tournament.
Yeah.
Like, even if they would have all been brought back eventually, at least it's not just right away.
Yeah. And you brought up censoring in the beginning of the video, and I want to bring up. So does Jiren have white blood, or is that censorship, or is he just maybe he's his stomach got upset and he's just puking out some white fluid, and we'll leave that up to.
Yeah, I don't get how having suggestively white fluid is better than blood, honestly. But
you
yeah,
could really make memes out of this. Bleh.
Oh my god.
Just coming out of his mouth without any context,
But yeah, I was saying earlier about Jiren, about how he was redeemed for me. And it was with one simple line that he was sorry that he treated everyone with such contempt. And I was just like, bravo, Jiren. Way to own up to your mistakes. Because, I mean, there are so many people in real life who act even worse than Jiren, and they never apologize to people that they abuse and talk crap about. So to me, I'm just like, you know what? I still don't think Jiren is the best character ever, but at least he's neutral to me after this.
And I love that scene of Papa Topo holding his baby Jiren in his arms with big old arms and just holding little Jiren just kind of passed out.
Did you cry? Did you cry, Steven?
Something had some fluid come out of it. I'm not going to say what, but hey.
Oh, no. I cried tears of joy. Just because the series is over.
Oh, no. You know, I cried when I saw people saying it was the best Dragon Ball franchise a little bit. So, the reality hits in.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is just like, makes me want to slit my wrists hearing the people say that.
Do you want to talk about what we found out Whis can do?
Yeah, he can instantly revive people, which is really going to cause problems.
He's the OP Dende.
Yeah, he's basically like an improved Dende. Like, Whis...
Why not have Dende at the self-fight? Oh, why not have Whis at every other fight? If ever someone dies, boop, he's back again.
Yep, and if Whis dies, what's to say that he can't just revive himself if he keeps his body in the afterlife? I mean, you'd have to erase him from existence in order for Whis to be out of commission or anything like that. Because, I mean, he could be away from everyone, but you're still going to always think in the back of your mind, like, why isn't Whis there? Or why doesn't Whis help out? I mean, especially now since he's been doing so much stuff to help out Universe 7 personally, like birth Bra so that way Vegeta can participate in the Tournament of Power, which also gets me to another thing. So Whis has all these amazing powers. Like he can reverse time, he can birth a baby, he can revive people. But he can't revive Majin Buu, but he can't wake up Majin Buu. So, yeah, that rubs me the wrong way. Because, I mean, you could say, like, oh, well, Whis is neutral. Well, guess what? Guess what, everyone? He birthed Bra so that way Vegeta would be able to participate. If that's not helping Universe 7 personally, I don't know what is. And especially with him training Goku and Vegeta in the first place.
I think it's because Boo would have been too OP in the universe. Because if you think about it, he could just absorb anyone. And then, you know, have that power. And we could just absorb Jiren when he's not looking. And then fall off the ring and both of them out, you know. I think it's probably a lot harder to animate Boo than it is to animate Frieza. Because they've had a lot more time animating, like, practicing with Frieza. I'm pretty sure he's probably one of those people that everyone draws at one point if you're the artist or one of the artists on the series, which the animation in this last episode's that last frame though, that important frame.
Yeah, that one of Vegeta doing his pose, that one was pretty ugh.
He looked like he's got his arm pulled out of socket and he got hit by a semi-truck.
Yep, and it is a key frame, so you can't even...
And his clothes are way too baggy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even, like, say, like, oh, you're just nitpicking, because that is a key frame.
You're just screenshotting. No, it's a key frame.
Yep.
It's supposed to be there. You're not supposed to, like... It's not one of those where it's episode 5 and you're just, like, randomly pausing the episode. Nope, it's supposed to be there. It holds for a little bit.
Yeah, the ending was very Dragon Ball-ish. It's just, to me, all the universe is being brought back.
In the bad way.
Like, have you noticed that every single arc in Super has ended very anticlimactically?
It's because they don't want to have any stakes to it. They want to be able to bring it back and just pick off where they left off.
They took no risks either. And, like, the whole thing of, like, we never got to hear Jiren's wish. It's very parallel to how we never heard what Hit was going to use the cube for in the Universe 6 tournament.
It's because it's bad writing, they forget.
They forget or they don't care. They think we don't care. It's just like, ugh. It's probably a big reason why I never liked Super. So, yeah, I think that we pretty much covered the whole thing. So,
how would you rate all these episodes together? If this was a DVD, one of the old time DVDs where it had a couple episodes on it, How would you rate that DVD?
Probably like a 4 out of 10 because out of all these episodes, there were only 4 that I actually really liked, even on the second viewing. That being 122, 125, 130, and 131. I mean, those are the only ones to me that got above a 2 out of 5 rating on my rating system. And a 2 out of 5 being bad.
Yeah, not 2 out of 5 being like a, not 2 out of 5 being like a B. A 2 out of 5 being like a E.
I would say it's like a average score, but yeah, just this whole finale and even just this whole arc. Yeah, so I would just rate it like a 4 out of 10. Bad. And the series as a whole, just because every single arc has ended so anticlimactically and it's been nothing but fan service and they took absolutely no risks with this show. I gave Dragon Ball Super as a whole a 3 out of 10 on MyAnimeList. Very bad.
I think there's room for it to argue there with the Future Trunks arc, but overall, I'd agree.
See, the thing is with the Future Trunks arc, like the Universe Survival arc, I honestly think that I should have watched it all as a sequence and done it kind of similar to how Hail Zeon and Aggro do, like watching 3 episodes after a few weeks, just so that way I'm not sitting there week after week, because yeah, the Universe Survival arc, watching it week after week is pretty bad, and a lot of the times it can ruin just what things are building up after one another, because whenever I watch this whole thing as a whole, it's actually a lot better than watching it week after week. Whereas the Future Trunks arc, I think that arc was best watching it week after week, because what made that arc so fun was all the speculation and conversations you could have about like who Black was, what Zamasu could do, and all that kind of stuff. So the Future Trunks arc, I mean, that's probably the most fun I've had watching Super until 66 and 67, which was the Vegeta episode and the Genki Dama sword and the Zeno button being pressed and everything being erased and Trunks going over to another universe where he has doubles of him and Mai, even though there's literally a show where people travel to different parallel universes and don't want to be involved with their doubles. So I don't know. Like the Future Trunks arc, it was a lot of fun watching it the first time around, but whenever you watch it as a sequence, you really pick up on the you pick up on the plot holes whenever you realize what's happening. It's just whenever you're going into it blind and you're speculating with your friends and all that good stuff, it was a lot of fun, but rewatching it doesn't really hold up to me.
I think we can both agree that the best thing Super did was bring people to discuss things that they wouldn't have been able to discuss prior. Like it brought people together, which is a good thing.
Exactly. The best thing is just the fact that it helped me meet guys like you, guys like Real to Real, guys like MJ, guys like Mark Dragon Ball Dad. So, I mean, as much as I don't like Super, nothing can take that away. Like, meeting all the awesome people like you and all the ones I mentioned, I mean, I know I like constantly was given crap by people being like, if you don't like it, don't watch. And my response to that is, if you don't like rant videos or critical videos, why are you watching them?
To comment that. To like the tension.
That's pretty much my closing statement. I mean, is there anything else you want to add before you wrap this up?
I think it was the best ending that we could have got in general.
Yeah, it's still predictably bad, because I mean, I just said that if they ended up doing it to where they just brought back all the universes, that'd be the worst possible ending to me. But I mean, hey, what can you do? At the end of the day, I'm just glad that this show is over and I can move on to talking about bigger and better things.
To rephrase, it did things that I was not expecting, and therefore I think it was better than it should have been, or than it actually was. Because it just wasn't so straightforward. Oh, Goku wins. Everyone was excited for him. Everyone cheers. You know, he wants to be friends with Zeno, and he says, "Oh, I'll meet you later, Jiren. I'll invite you later." You know, I liked it. I just didn't think it was the best thing ever, like some people do.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I agree with you. Goku winning would have been absolutely predictable. So, yeah. I mean, as bad as I think Super is, I mean, it entertained me some.
Do you have any final things you want to say, Golden, about what's happening on your channel or any future ideas you got?
Okay, so yeah, guys, if you're watching this, I mean, I'm assuming you're watching this before Steins Gate 0 drops. But if you like Steins Gate, guys, I'm going to be doing videos on that, weekly episode reviews of Steins Gate 0, and it's season 2 of the original Steins Gate. I highly recommend that to anyone who likes time travel, murder mystery type thing. If that's something that sounds like that would intrigue you, I recommend it. And then, of course, I'm going to be binging My Hero Academia so I can catch up before season 3 drops. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really suggest them, guys. Even if you just want to go watch his reviews, they're pretty good. Especially when he gets all frustrated. It's kind of funny, kind of amusing. Yeah, I'll leave his channel link in the description below and his Twitter and everything. If you can check him out, that'd be great. And until later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy. Damn.